Ridge Racer 64. Hard telling whether it's a Namco game or a Nintendo game, but it's certainly among the greatest racing games. Banjo-Tooie. A sequel which requires a second look past the extreme cutscene fluff to be properly appreciated. Perfect Dark. Probably the most intriguing spiritual successor in the history of gaming. Mario Tennis. So vibrant and full of character, you need not even be athletic to love it to death. Forsaken 64. A decent sci-fi shooter which has to share a title with something rather tragic. Bejeweled Blitz Live. An improvement to a Facebook game which was inexplicably not made backwards compatible. Killer Instinct Gold. Rare example of a Nintendo 64 game that's easier to play with the default Switch controller mapping. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. A lengthy contest for how many characters could be compiled into a single game. Nintendo Switch Sports. One of few modern games to somewhat overcome idiotically unnecessary changes. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. When a game is only truly viable on one platform, and then that version chokes on the upgrade to its platform. Mario Party 2. So much detail and character, it's frankly shameful I failed to mention it sooner. F-Zero. Outclassing Mario Kart before it ever even existed. Dr. Mario 64. Shockingly similar to the original, yet somehow slightly better. Attic Attack. If Game of the Year existed in 1983, and I was around back then, this would have been my nominee. Wipeout the Game. When they make a video game out of your favorite childhood TV show. Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Sure, it's educational, but that's somehow not what makes it better than the main franchise. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Could have topped the original, but good lord did they drag out the main game mode. Minecraft Dungeons. Solid spin-off, but where's the PvP mode? F-Zero X. Still refusing to let Mario Kart be the best racer. Rec Room. God rest its soul, it's Roblox minus the idiotic restrictions and disgusting creeps in charge. Insaniquarium. A digital fish tank before digital objects became commonplace and after your index finger is cramped to the max. Pokemon Puzzle League. This isn't a Pokemon game. They just branded it that way so it would sell 1 million copies. Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Making playing with cards more addicting than it realistically should be. Harvest Moon 64. When there's so many layers to numerous aspects, the abundance of errors becomes easily forgivable. Tetris Deluxe. Coming in clutch with upgrades when the original Game Boy version broke records despite being disturbingly underwhelming. Chrono Trigger. Good luck obtaining a copy of this, despite it being ported to several systems. Bejeweled. Proof that what comes up must get off the ground in the first place. The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Ocarina of Time, but slightly less popular and even more confusing. Super Scribblenauts. How to fulfill your wish to conjure up literally anything from thin air. Rayman Free. When a franchise gets off to one of the best starts imaginable and completely rips itself off of its own hinges.
Hey, I like that outfit on you. When does it come off?
Mario's Picross. Objectively the best puzzle game, right up until they fumbled hard in designing the last 25% of it. Custom Robo. Language barrier be damned. The action is where it's at here. Mario's Super Picross. Further evidence that numbers and pictures are a universal language. Custom Robo V2. A shining example that more of the same can be just as good. Tonic Trouble. This game walked so Rayman 2 could fly. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Chaos awaits when 4 people tackle separate sections, all credited to one save file. Cobra Triangle. Even NES boat games are out here giving Mario Kart a run for its money. Crash Bandicoot. A title foreshadowing instructions you will inevitably take literally, then have a hell of a time saving because of how it's designed. Donkey Kong Country. The 16-bit game that goes above and beyond that in visuals and soundtrack. Mario Paint. When the limitations become part of the art. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Never before has a series needed a glow-up so badly, and thankfully this one delivered. Kirby's Dream Land. This franchise opener is about the size of a dream, alright. Typer Shark. The ultimate way to learn to use a keyboard. Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Sometimes the colors, animations, and expressions say it all, and that's why this one lands. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Could be worse, but even other Mario Karts give Mario Kart a run for its money. Yoshi. Be honest, you were caught off guard when you learned this is a puzzle game. F-Zero 99. When overloading the competition, somehow spawns one of the best games in the franchise. Dynamite. One of the few times a prehistoric theme is anything other than plainly boring. Panel de Pon. Because Sega's Puyo Puyo Mean Bean Machine region difference also needed competition. Super Mario Maker 2. Fulfilling everyone's childhood Mario dreams, for better or for worse.